What is going on, guys? It is Dylan here. Today, we'll be going over a ticker symbol analysis on the ticker symbol MSTR strategy, guys. We have seen a massive confirmation to the upside, which we have been following on the channel, guys, since being in this range to the breakdown of 400. We've seen stock price drag its feet a little bit, and we have remained neutral within this time frame, and that's very much what strategy has done, guys. A lot of investors are wondering, is this the area where we do get that confirmation to the upside? Right? Or do we see more of a pullback to be had? With that being said, guys, we'll remain 0% biased throughout the entire video today, jumping across a couple different time frames to get actual price prediction, levels to watch, and all that, guys. Let's get right into the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, guys, we are working in a weekly bull flag continuation pattern. Stock prices emerges, gets that very nice liquidity, showing that buyers are serious about this buying pressure before effectively going into consolidation for quite some time, guys. A couple months, we did get these squeezed to the upside, confirmation with that nice big green wide bar, presenting that there's a lot of buyer pressure, right? Then we rose all the way until we pulled back, and once again, another bull flag. We've been following this on the channel, guys. We've seen the accumulation right over the top on the smaller time frames being the confirmation, and we did see the upside until we have pulled back a little bit. That's currently where we're at as of now, guys. Before we jump into the candlesticks, patterns, all that, guys, let's go and get a price target for this bull flag breakout. If we get around a 50% retracement of this flag pull, which is around 100% retracement, we have set this on the channel, guys, since that $320 level. We do feel $500 is a very, very realistic price target. No fluff around here, guys. It's very realistic. Seen a lot of craziness in the market currently. A lot of people are wondering, is this the end for strategy? As of now, guys, there's zero technical indication that this is it. Stock price is actually being quite disciplined. As the market moves in phases, guys. You see stock go up and then it pulls down. Right? Goes up, pulls down. Very, very simple. But the more time you trade, guys, the more you realize how simple it is. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing that move up. We're seeing that move down. So obviously, are we going a little bit lower? That's the main question we have to answer. As of now, there's no technical indication, seeing all these candlesticks, that this run is over. Let me zoom in a little bit deeper. You see that, when we did have the upside movements, you've seen strong bodied bars pushing up with intensity. But once we get that pullback, guys, it's not really much of a pullback, we retracted around 30-40% in 3 weeks. When you see the prior 3 weeks was an explosive 3 weeks, guys. So keep it very simple on the weekly chart, guys. We're seeing that confluence in this very, very important area, which we've been following ever since we've seen that wick. So it is nice to see stock base at this level, right? It's not 100% as of now, but this is the level we will bounce off. But to see stock have 1, 2, 3 week pauses at this level is a good sign. And it's very, very healthy, guys, actually, to get that pullback, because if we just kept shooting up like we did over here in the prior flag, it makes for a very, very nasty regression to the mean with Bollinger Bands. Regression traders like to short these opportunities. So with that being said, guys, on the weekly time frame, we're definitely moving in the right direction. As of now, there's no indication that this is over. And to see stock price, be pretty content with this pullback. Sellers not really being able to make much out of it and already seeing an early bounce. It definitely points to the upside that this could be the area where stock price does see the bounce, guys. So this is definitely the best we've looked on the weekly since starting to pull back over here. Looking on the daily chart, guys, within last video, we made around that rough, I believe it was at $380 level. We mentioned that we really just remained neutral, meaning that we started to curl up and get that confirmation over that neckline, which we expected. And you had the nice move up, but we did accumulate on that 389 level. We've been following, and we immediately kind of pulled back, showing a little bit of weakness. So we mentioned in last video that we are curling up in the right direction, but seeing that immediate weakness more or less makes us neutral until stock really simmers. And now we're seeing stock simmer a little bit more. We did have a pretty significant wide bar to the downside before bouncing at the support. And now we see a hammer candle, which is printed right in this support, guys. And this does look good. This does look good as, when you let's put it this way. When you exit a support zone and then you come back down, there's a lot better risk to reward for serious buyers in this area, as you've had a double confirmation, a double bounce. So that's good to see. Right away, we're seeing liquidity within this level. Obviously not incredibly strong, right? As we see 3 red candles printed, but stock price really hasn't descended much over the last few days. So keep it really simple on the daily, guys. We have that major $400 level we've been keeping very close eye on. We still need to go up and fill this gap. That will be the sign that, stock price can really get that, exciting action that we've seen over here, guys. Until that $400, that's such a major level, not only being a major resistance level, but a key psychological level, which traders love to watch, guys. So keeping it very simple, we got to keep an eye on this range. Having all these candlesticks, confluence in this zone, we clearly see the highs being this rough 389 and the lows being over here, guys. So if stock price does knife down, right, collapses from the support, which has held us up for so long, it's not looking good. From that, situation, we should be able to move down to 354 and test the next support, and this trend will continue lower, this pull back. But if we move higher, guys, and break that 389 resistance we've been watching, then the next test, guys, is that $400 resistance level. And if we just take a really, really deep zoom out, we're the sellers on the chart, right? We see the highs over here, and we see this big confluence being that rough $400 level, guys. So if we can effectively squeeze up and pop right back in that range, that's very, very healthy. And that's the main thing, guys. Until we break $389, anywhere between these two zones is more or less a range. And we've held that stance neutral on the channel over the past few weeks. And that's what we've seen, guys. Stock is just sitting here, not really doing much. The buyers want to push it up and get that bounce. They want to fill this gap over here. They want to keep the trend, keep going. But the sellers are still within these levels. They still remain. So it's very much a neutral battle. But I do want to say that we do look better from last video. Definitely seeing, that extra coming down and bouncing from that level. It does look good, being that we did double dip back into that support level, which we did sit so patiently for quite some time, accumulating amongst these lows, guys. You've seen a big body bar pressing down, and we initially gapped down. And when you look at the low from that candle, guys, the sellers haven't pushed it any much lower than that 368, which we initially gapped down to. So not really a whole lot of seller pressure as of now. We're more effectively in a daily range. On the hourly time frame, we did see that very nice double bottom pattern, which we were following pretty closely, being the neckline at that, I think it's 372. Yeah, 372 level. All right, we've seen the accumulation. We've seen a bunch of wick outs, but no hourly close over that concrete neckline level, being this very nice double bottom W formation. Really picture perfect, guys. You've seen the upside to 389, which we expected. Within the last video, we had to remain neutral, just being that we consolidated on this level and we pulled down. So within this kind of weird spot right here, the sellers are reemerging, shoving the stock down lower, forming a lower high. But play devil's advocate, we just exited this range. So it was very hard to form a bias. Now looking a little bit closer, guys, we're seeing that we are entering the apex of this arguable descending triangle, guys. Sellers are pushing stock down. They're accumulating in these positions for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hours over the last, say, 30, 40 hours of price action. So, this is really going to be the short-term gauge where MicroStrategy goes. If we can hold over and break this descending resistance marker clean, we would be liquidating all of these sellers pushing down, and we should be able to get that other retest of 389. Of course, if that is broken, guys, we should be easily moving to $400, which is the meat and potato, guys, of the entire stocks. The number one level we've been following very closely. So, looking on the hourly time frame, definitely a battle between the sellers and the very aggressive buyers. And we have formed a higher low formation. So I would say, we lean more bullish on the hourly, than bearish. As we've seen that nice hammer candle at the end of the day, right? We sunk down very, very aggressively in this support level, looking a little bit shaky. Maybe we do collapse from this level, but we immediately, fake break down. We squeezed right back up before it did rejecting. But once again, guys, bouncing exactly on that support at the end of the day. So there shouldn't be too much more flat, just kind of price action that to happen. It's very likely that, maybe we do reach the apex within this pattern. And if we get to this exact squeeze, guys, someone has to win. The sellers, the buyers, this level really should be the line in the sand. If the sellers do confirm and we sink below, especially if we get to that tight apex, this should be the indication if we break to the downside that 354 is coming, the pullback will get deeper. But I think it's more likely, guys, we actually do squeeze out to the upside, guys. Seeing this higher low, this bullish divergence, it looks good on the hourly. You know, we do have to see the break. We have to see the buyers step up and do their job. But as of now, definitely looks pretty good. And this overall daily range consolidation, more or less this pullback, it does appear that it might end soon, guys. It doesn't take a genius to tell you guys that Bitcoin does have an effect on strategy. And as of now, we're seeing a very interesting point of view in Bitcoin. We mentioned within last video, being this thin red candle, that stock price couldn't sit here too much longer as we are within the apex of this tight squeeze, being these sellers accumulating within this position and the buyers, guys. And we mentioned that if we break this to the downside, we should easily be able to move to that psychological $100,000 level, which we did, guys. We did it in one day. So we had a very good read on that. Congrats to anyone who made a couple bucks on that. I'm sure a lot of traders will keep an eye on this, but we see the false breakdown, guys. And we say it all the time on the channel. One of the most bullish signs possible is when a stock confirms through the lower, right, appearing to be moving down until it completely 180s. And that's what we're seeing on Bitcoin right now, guys. Stock price moved right back up with a nice green body bar, signifying that buyers are willing to step up every single hour of the day, closing strong. And we've reemerged right within the apex of this pattern. And it does appear within live action now, guys, that we are breaking to the upside. Not quite. We're very, very close, guys. But if we see that confirmation back over that super, super critical $106,000 level we've been following, guys, which gave us that breakout previously, which we expected here. If we can reaffirm back over this level strong, guys, and get over this apex, this would be a picture perfect fake breakdown. And all these sellers have been liquidated, getting out of their positions, raising stock price, and new buyers emerge in the market for the next move up. So very, very interesting spot in Bitcoin, guys. If we do reject here and push back down, you know, that would not look good in the short-term perspective. Likely we do come back down to 103,000, test it. And then if that fails, moving back down to that psychological $100,000 level, guys. So looking at Bitcoin, we definitely lean bullish, seeing this very nice flip and reversal, buyers stepping back in, and we're still in this weekly bull flag breakout, right? Big move up, stock knifes up, goes sideways, sellers battling with the buyers for getting the breakout. Big flag pull, move up before once again going sideways before buyers win the battle. And we're seeing that flag pull form right now, guys. You know, it is unlikely we form another flag pull in, flag. We're clearly making the flag pull now, but it is unlikely we do another flag, you know, continuation. Typically you only get two, but it is within the realm of possibility. So, you know, reapproaching these highs, guys, being very, very strong, seeing that wick, trapping these sellers, man. It does look good on the weekly perspective as of now, right? We're not quite in the green as of yet, as we need to close over 106,000, but things look good, man. So with that being said, you know, we do feel good about strategy as of now, potentially seeing the bottom being here, that rounding bottom, and buyers reemerging within the market. But keep in mind, guys, we still have these key levels of break, right? 389 and then eventually 400 bucks. That being said, though, guys, if you found any value out of today's video, consider liking and subscribing. We'll be covering MicroStrategy about 1 to 2 times a week. It really depends how you guys respond to these videos. Like, subscribe, all that. Have a good day. Take care. And peace.